A reading from the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 35 to 37. Who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will affliction, or distress, or persecution, or hunger, or nakedness, or peril, or the sword? Yet in all this we are conquerors, through him who has granted us his love. Life can really grind us down. People, societies, groups. But how do we get past it? We come to this point, this reading. This is a reading which I've come across so many times over the years, and yet it's mostly just been words. We can't fully understand, we can't live the gospel unless we've lived the experience that the gospel's trying to tell us. Does that mean we need to be crucified ourselves? No, it doesn't. But we do have a form of different methods or different vehicles of suffering, peril, the sword, persecution, distress, hunger, affliction, all these things listed in it. It's very important that we remember the most important thing in this entire passage. We are conquerors through him who has granted us his love. His love, what is it? What do we need? How do we know we're getting loved? We're getting qualified. We're getting qualified for heaven. And the only way you can appreciate God's and Jesus' love is experience. Experience, especially when we have to combat. Keyword, combat. Our fallacies, our falling, the fact that we are a fallible human being, fallible human beings. It's actually quite a challenge to tune in to this vibe. That's actually the biggest challenge for some people. Sometimes the biggest challenge is how to recover. How do you recover from suffering? How do you recover from heartache? How do you recover from a traumatic experience? One must fully bind themselves with God as best they can. If you give your heart to somebody and they've let you down, perhaps what you need to do first is give your heart to Jesus. Give your heart to his mother. If you're female, give your heart to Jesus. If you're male, give your heart to Mary. Whatever you feel you need to do. This is a massive challenge, to give your heart to Jesus, to Mary, someone that's not to disassociate what we think and feel, our instincts, to go for another human being. We know that human beings will let us down. We even let ourselves down. But this is a challenge. And that's what Romans 8:35 to 37 is telling us.